coming back to the point that after converting the equations like this, from this to that, you can easily see that there is no changes made in the dependent source. As you know that the diamond shaped sources are known as the dependent source, so there is no change from these to that, but the changes are from the impedances and others, phasors changes. Then you can solve it like this. There are 10 ampere input, so there is the other two outputs, just to find out this. That's a very basic knowledge that, and you know, in the previous lectures I have told you. And then make these two equations, and finding the Cramer's rule, you can easily make a solution to that. Now there is another problem has been given here. When you have to solve the problem using the nodal analysis, you can see how to find out this V naught in milliampere, and it's pretty much easy mathematics. You can make solve at your own. And here is the current source, the dependent current source is here. So there is a given circuitry, there is a current source given here. Just you have to convert it. Then you have to, because there is 10 millihenry and 50 microfarad are given, so you have to convert it. Then do the mathematics. So after find Ix using nodal analysis. How can you find out? Just to mark these two nodes here. Then this V1, it will be V2. Then just applying the KCL, Kirchhoff's current law here. So there is using Kirchhoff's current law. So you can easily find out the current from here. Just analyzing the nodal analysis, as you know, similar to here. So there is two currents. This direction is here. So two currents are entering, and third one is outgoing. So you can find it out the two nodes, and then you can calculate the Ix from here. Ix means V1 divided by 0.1 farad. So first you have to find out V1, then you can just divide the ohms that you have finding out from here, and then you can find all the equations from here and finding out the current. Okay, so there is a hint was that will be V1. If you take the V1, that will be J omega L naught is 0.1 farad, 1 by J omega C, 1 divided by J omega C. Then you can calculate it. That is at your own. You have to calculate at your own. You're quite so supernode. In supernode is where the voltage source is connected between two non-reference nodes. That is the important part. While you are doing solution in supernode, here you can find out two nodes, and there is a source between it, in the two nodes, between the two nodes. So that will be supernode. In that case, that will be diminished, and you have to calculate it from here. I have also give you some knowledge about it in previous slides or previous lessons. So now there is pretty much important part, the superposition theorem. The theorem that I want to show that how you could solve the superposition theorem from here. The superposition theorem eliminates the need for solving simultaneous linear equations by considering the effect on each source independently. That means when there are multiple sources are included here, and we have to find out the effect of these sources. Okay, you can see here there is an example practice problem, and listen very carefully that when you use the superposition principle, okay, the superposition means when there overlaps one or two current or voltages to a certain network. There is a capacitor, there is a resistor, there is an inductor. So if you want to find out the effect of currents or effect of multiple sources in a single or in a network like that, if you want to find out Ix, so this series network has been affected by these two sources. Okay, there is a current source and there is a voltage source. Understand? So these two sources are pretty much important, that how much it affects to the network, that means in resistance, in capacitance, or another type of networks, how much it affects. Okay, if you say when you start this there might be a current, if you start this there might be another current passing through it, and there is a certain current which have an additive effect. If there is a current source, the current flows from here. If there is a voltage source, there also a current flows from here. So these two currents are affecting this network. You have to find out which one of the current is the resultant current that has been affected, that affects this network. Okay, to do this, first of all, the first step is to convert. I have told you several times, you have to convert frequency domain. Okay, then you should go through to the steps. Okay, so first of all convert it, then see where there are the sources. There are two sources, so you have to make one source off and other source on. If you make this current source off, you have to make it open. So here the source is open circuited. Then calculate it just like a single loop or whatever else connected to this 10 60 degree minus 60 degree volt, this source on, that means voltage source is on here. Then you find this, that how much current flows from here. There is a current I1 here, you have to find out Ix. Okay, now if you find it out in this situation, so if you wanted to cut it off the voltage source, you have to give it to the short circuited. It will be short circuited, and in this operation that will be active. Okay, if a current source is inactive and voltage source is active, so make it a open circuit, and if it is a voltage source, make it a short circuit to inactive it. Do you understand? I think you will better understand. Now go on to the other section and other part. In the second section, here you can see this current source is active and the voltage source has been shorted out. So here another current will also flow from this direction. So the two currents, in two situations we get two currents. So when you apply the superposition theorem, then the two currents will be additive, and these two currents are opposite directions, are in opposite directions. So there you can see there is a minus, and then you can find out the resultant current from it. The calculations should be done by you, but the theorem is like that. If there is current source, make it a open circuit. If there is a voltage source, make it a short circuit. That means first of all inactive this, active that, then inactive this and active that, and find out the resultant current from the network and add these two currents within it. Thank you very much for being with me in these network theorem problems. I will give you some other problems, and I will discuss you some other problems like Thevenin's theorem, maximum power transfer theorem in the next video. For being with me, thank you very much, and I will go to the next section from now.